So if you're skinny fat, you're kind of like in an awkward position. You're not really overweight, and you're also not lean enough to feel confident. So you mainly exist in the middle, which a lot of most people actually stay here. Excuse me, doing the notes. Um, so I guess if I'm going to define what a skinny fat person is, here's a good example. This is what I used to look like. It's most of the time it's just low muscle mass. You've got a gut that sticks out. And one of the main things that I used to have as an issue was that I always looked like I couldn't lift. And that really bothered me. The three problems that a lot of skinny fat people face, or men face, is, the first one is we mainly jump in between programs a lot. You can't really like stick to one. You'll do it for 4 weeks, or like 6 weeks, and then you'll just stop and say like nothing's working. So that's problem number one. Secondly, as well, mainly this is a bit of an identity thing. Instead of trying to just fix the problem, you need to become someone who's just disciplined and consistent of just doing it. Because obviously, depending on how you view yourself, they kind of make things easier. Which I'll probably speak on a little bit in depth on a later video about what I mean by that. But that's a second problem. The last problem would be a lot of people operating on just motivation rather than systems. And then so the real solution that I have for these three problems would be, the first one is keeping it simple. As simple as just, even if you just went 3 to 4 times a week and just focusing on just the compound lifts. Basics is always the best. It's also easier to stick to. The second one, really important, is consistency. In at least like 3 months. You can't just do it for a few weeks and expect massive changes. You need to at least give it 3 months of consistent work. And then again, the last one ties into the identity part, is like, become someone who is disciplined of doing it. And that's how you view yourself. So you just keep showing up over and over again, which ties into the second solution really for it. So yeah. So again, going back, this was my biggest problem. I'd probably say like 2-3 years ago. I've been training for a while, but I've always looked like this. Here's a photo, by the way, to show you. You can see like it looks like, to me, I've been training for like 5 to 6 years at this point, but my body doesn't show it. I'm still skinny fat. Look at the gut around my waist. My arms were skinny and I just looked heaps awkward. But I was training and I was quite strong in terms of like the lifts that I was able to do. And yeah, so I wasn't really consistent with it. I kept jumping programs constantly over and over again. And again, that was probably one of my biggest mistakes, was like I just couldn't keep it consistent. And it was weird because I was also even tracking my calories, making sure I hit my, the typical 150 grams, or sorry, no, it's like 2 grams per pound of body weight that you had to hit. And it was just every day sticking to this over and over again. Held to the point where sometimes I'd be the annoying friend that you'd go outside with and you couldn't even stick to. Sorry, I'd go outside with and you couldn't even have fun without me just checking or using my phone to scan the fucking food to see how much protein or calories is in it. So it's heaps, not the best. And that was my mistake. And obviously, as soon as I started implementing the solutions that I mentioned earlier was when I had the bigger changes. And then, so as a final note for this video is, I'd like to say, there's nothing new nowadays. Most people think with technology coming up, we've all got these new secrets and all of that. Nothing's new, in my opinion. It's always been there. The fundamentals have always stayed the same. And the reason why most things fail for most people, particularly the skinny fat men, is because we just don't stick it out for long enough. That's really it. There's no secret sauce. There's no new information. There's no new PubMed study or systematic review of the best way. It's just as simple as you just live heavy shit. Live heavy shit, eat heaps of tons of protein, go enjoy your life, and live a life of moderation when it comes to your diet. That's really it. Obviously, when I started to implement that, that's when the changes really happened. And look, I'll even show you, here's a before and after of me. this is me in 73 kilos, and this is me when I lost like 10. I didn't even think about it. That was just mainly just lifestyle. I just started to eat a little bit less. And I also just started to focus on the compounds. And the odd thing was, the only reason why I started doing that was because I was so busy with work that I didn't want to think about it. So I stopped caring about counting calories, and I just said I'll just eat whatever, like, the mainly the healthy stuff. And then I'll just lift heavy without having to count everything down. And for some reason, I ended up losing 10 kilos, and then ended up looking actually a lot better. And that's when I realized that, oh, okay, just keeping it simple is really the best option to actually go for it. And yeah, look, I'll leave it at that. So, final note: my name is Miguel, or Migsy, as I refer to my channel. I'm a nobody. I'm just like you, like the rest of you, just trying to figure it out. And my job here is just to kind of like just tell you about the things that the lessons that I've learned, and hopefully share it on to you boys. That's it. Awesome. And yeah, peace out, lads.